Good evening to you all. How has your day been? How did your day go? Hope you had a great day today. Hope you won. Hope life was better today. I hope so. Because I had a great day myself. And we had a great session in the afternoon. If you've not seen that, please go watch it. That will kind of change your life if you've not seen that. Go watch it, friends. Okay, it's time to go into tonight's talk, and I really want to talk from a point of an angle that a lot of us are living from and working from. Tonight, I need to talk to the people who know how to survive. You know how to survive. The people who are to grow up fast. The people who learned to stay calm in chaos. The people who learn to read the room before speaking. The people who learn to carry everybody else and ask for nothing in return. The people who learn how to keep moving while breaking inside. I need to talk to you. Come close. Because a lot of you are strong, but you're tired. You're capable, but you're empty. You're responsible, but you're disconnected. You're still standing, but not really living. And here's why. You built what I call survival skills, which was great. And those skills, they help you make it. They help you get here. But right now, you're here. Some of the same skills that you built that protected you, those skills are now limiting you. So tonight's title is You Build Survival Skills, Now Build a Life with the Skills. I'll take that again. Tonight's talk is You Build Survival Skills, Now Build a Life with the Skills. I need you to hear me clearly, friends. What you built to survive was not wrong, as at that time of your life you needed it. It was necessary. But survival is not the final destination. You were not born only to endure, no. You were not called only to manage crisis. You were not called only to be in fire brigade mode, no. You were not called to be a firefighter. You were not made only to hold everything and everybody together. You are allowed to build peace. You're allowed to build joy. You're allowed to build stability. You're allowed to build boundaries. You're allowed to build purpose, deeper relationships. A life that doesn't always feel like a recovery mode. So tonight, we're going to talk about the survival skill many people carry without recognizing it. How those skills helped you, how those same skills can now block your next seasons, and how to turn survival into structure and structure into life. Now, if you're used to this channel, you know on this channel we're big on direction, we're big on change, we're big on growth, we're big on structure. If this is for you, I want you to stay around while we walk through these notes together. Let's start with something important, friends. I'm not here tonight to shame anybody for surviving. No, a lot of us had to go through what we had to go through. A lot of us survived things a lot of people never saw. A hard childhood, survived betrayal, survived financial stress, even loss. Some people survived instability, some survived rejection, some even went through a divorce. Some people survived the burnout. Some survived carrying a family on your back, on your shoulder, being the strong one too early. So when I say survival skills, I'm not insulting you. I'm honoring you. I'm honoring the skills that you carried. Because survival skills are often built in pain. There was a reason that you had to survive. So they're often built in pain. So we are honoring them. We're not insulting you. Hey, Rachel. Good evening. Thanks for joining. How are you doing today? See, you learn to stay alert because peace was unpredictable, right? You learn to overwork because rest didn't feel safe. You learn to please people because conflict has consequences. You learn to shut down emotionally. Oh, Lacey, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. You learn to shut down emotionally because nobody made space for your feelings. It is all okay. You learn to do everything yourself because help was not coming. That, my friend, didn't make you weak. No, that made you adaptive. Trenchal, hi. That made you adaptive. And adaptation is powerful. Being able to adapt is powerful. But here's the hard truth, friends. A skill that helps you survive one season can quietly sabotage your next season. The way you protected yourself can become the way you block yourself. The way you protected yourself can become the way you block yourself. So tonight, it's not about disrespecting your survival. It's about asking, what kept me alive then, but is keeping me small now? What kept me alive then, but is keeping me small now? Let's make this real, all right? Let's talk about Andre. Andre was the guy everybody relied on. At work, Andre was dependable. At home, he was responsible. In crisis, Andre is calm. In pressure, he's steady. If something broke, Andre fixed it. If something went wrong, Andre handled it. If people panicked, Andre stayed composed. People respected Andre. They also assumed, and they always assumed Andre was okay. But Andre has built a life on one survival skill: emotional shutdown. He learned very early in his life that expressing pain changed nothing. So he stopped expressing pain. He also learned to just keep moving. Don't be a burden to anybody, Andre. Handle it. You're a man. Push through. And that survival skill made him look strong for so many years. But later in life, it started to cost him. His relationship, they felt distant. He couldn't explain what he felt. He was present physically, but not emotionally. He was tired all the time, but couldn't rest. He was carrying a lot, but had no language for his own life. One day, Andre's partner said, I know you love us. I know you love the kids. I don't know how to reach you. That line hit him very hard because he realized that the world that protected him has now separated him from the life he wants. Friends, some of you are Andre. You know how to function. You know how to provide. You know how to survive. The thing is that you don't know how to soften. You don't know how to rest. You don't know how to let people in. You don't know how to be held. And the skill that once saved you is now keeping your life shallow. So hear me tonight. What you built as at that time was necessary. The wall Andre built was necessary. But you don't have to live behind that wall forever. It was for a season. Let's name some of you might be saying, Matt, what are you talking about survival skills? What are you talking about? Okay, let's name some survival skills because some of you will not even realize that you have survival skills. Number one, let's take hyper independence. Hyper independence is more like you do everything yourself. You don't ask for help. You don't trust people easily. This comes, it often comes from being let down too many times. So people have disappointed you too many times. So because of that, you don't trust people. You do things yourself. You're the one that a lot of people have disappointed. So what do? I don't trust people. So you become hyper independent. And it sounds like, I got it. Don't worry, I'll do it. It's easier if I handle it myself. See, that may protect you, or it may have protected you for a season, but now it can be causing you exhaustion. That is a survival skill that worked, but it's no longer working. Another one is people pleasing. You keep everyone comfortable. Okay? You avoid disappointing people. You say yes when you mean no. Why? Because at some point, peace in your life depends on managing other people's emotion. It depends on other people's emotions. So that was survival. But right now, it may be costing you your voice. It may be costing you your voice. Another life skill is overworking. Another survival skill is overworking. You struggle to rest. You feel guilty when you're not productive. You tie your worth to what you produce. That survival skill may have helped you climb to this point. When you were hustling, when you were grinding, that skill was useful. But now it may be making you numb. It may be making you numb. Another one is overthinking, what we call analysis paralysis. You think 10 steps ahead. You prepare for the worst case scenarios, always preparing for the worst case scenarios. You read every tone, every silence, every shift. You think of everything that may have helped you stay safe. But now it may be stealing your peace. That is another survival skill that worked then, but is causing you a problem right now. Another one is emotional shutdown. You keep moving, but you don't process. You feel, but don't say. You carry pain, but don't name it. That may have protected your heart, but now it may be keeping your relationships very thin. Another skill is being the strong one. You became the helper. You became the fixer. You became the responsible one. People lean on you. But nobody checks on you because you don't look like you need anything. You don't look like you need help. You don't look like you need support. That may have given you identity, but now it may be making you lonely. Friends, these are not character flaws. They are patterns. And patterns can be healed. Patterns can be reworked. Patterns can be turned into wisdom. These are not character flaws. Let's talk about a woman called Lena. Lena was amazing at helping people. She remembered everybody's needs. She checked on people. She volunteered. She showed up. She carried things. She made life easier for everyone around her. People loved Lena for that. But what they call kindness was partly a survival skill. Lena had learned early that being useful made her feel safe. So she tied usefulness to safety. If she was helped, she was valued. That's how she feel. If she was needed, she belonged. If she kept the peace, she avoided conflict. So she became excellent at carrying people together. But she became terrible at carrying her own self. She didn't know what she wanted. She didn't know how to say no. She didn't know how to ask for support. She felt guilty resting. She felt anxious disappointing people. And one day, she broke down over something small. Not because it was small, but because she had been disappearing for years. When she finally started doing the work, she realized she wasn't just nice, she was surviving through service. And once she saw that she began to change. She didn't stop caring. She stopped abandoning herself. That's the message for somebody tonight. Friends, that's the message for you tonight. You don't have to lose your goodness. No. That's not what we're talking about. You don't have to lose your goodness. You just need to remove the fear under your goodness. You can still be loving without being available to everybody. You can still be kind without saying yes to everything. You can still serve without disappearing. Now, this is where I need you to listen carefully. I'm not telling you to throw your survival skill away. No. I'm telling you to rebuild how you use them. Because the same trait that protected you can become powerful when healed. For example, let's look at the skills we mentioned: hyperdependence, hyperindependence. That skill could become leadership simply because you know how to carry responsibility very well. Now, what you need to learn is how to delegate, how to trust, how to build teams. That will make you a complete leader. The other skill we talked about was people pleasing. You can become people pleasing can eventually become empathy plus boundaries. You read people very well. That's good. Now stop using that skill to disappear. Use it to communicate wisely. Another skill we talked about is overthinking. Overthinking can mutate into strategy. You notice patterns. You think ahead. That's very good. Now stop using it only for fear. Stop thinking of worst case scenario only. Use it for planning and for vision. Overworking can be discipline. You know how to stay committed. Very good. Now connect that discipline to purpose, not just pressure. The next skill we talked about is emotional shutdown. Emotional shutdown can become emotional steadiness. You can stay calm under pressure. That's very good. Now, add language, add vulnerability, and add connection to it. We talked about being the strong one. So being the strong one can become stable leadership. You know how to carry weight. That's very good. Now, let strength include honesty, support, and rest. Do you see what we're doing, friends? Can you see that? We're not erasing your story. No. We are redeeming your story. We are not pretending you didn't survive. We are building a life out of what survivor taught you, instead of letting the skills you learned become the hindrance. As usual on this channel, you know, we make sure we talk to parents, children, young adults. But now I want to talk to parents for a moment. There was a parent called Keisha. Keisha came from chaos. Keisha came from the ghetto. Keisha came from the scum of the scum. Think about that. But when she became a parent, Keisha said something. She promised herself, my kids will have stability. And she meant every word of it. She planned everything. She monitored everything. She thought through every risk. She stayed on top of every detail. From the outside, she looked incredible, and she was. But inside, she was always braced up, always tensed, always alert, always expecting something to go wrong. She called it being responsible. And part of it is, she was correct, partly. Part of it sounded like being responsible. But another part of it was survival. She had learned early that if she didn't stay ready, life can turn very fast. So she's alert. So even when life gets better, our body doesn't know it. Our mind doesn't know it. Our nervous system doesn't know it. And what happened? She struggled to enjoy the life she had built. Our kids were safe, but she couldn't relax. Our home was stable, but she couldn't breathe. Our family was okay, but she's still in emergency mode. One day she said something powerful. I know how to protect peace. I don't know how to live in peace. That line right there, that line, some of you know how to create safety for others, but you don't know how to receive safety yourself. And that's the next stage of healing. Not just building a better life, but learning how to live in a better life. Keisha didn't need to stop being responsible. She needed to stop living like every day was a threat. And little by little, she learned. She learned to pause. She learned to breathe. She learned to ask for help. She learned to enjoy the small moment. She learned to stop confusing calm with danger. Friends, that's a real transition there. That's a real transition from survival mode to life mode. Let's get a little bit practical, as always on this channel. How do you know you're still living from survival mode, even if life has improved? Because someone might say, Matt, I cannot tell. Though my life has improved, how can I tell I'm still fixated in this survival mode? Here are a few signs. These are a few signs you can look at. Number one, you can't rest without guilt. When things are calm, you feel uneasy. You feel like you should be doing something. That's a clue. Number two, you struggle to receive help. You struggle to receive help. People offer support and you automatically say no. Not because you're okay, but because receiving feels unfamiliar. You're not used to receiving. Number three, you expect disappointment. You always plan for worst case scenarios. Even in good moments, part of you is waiting for something to go wrong. The moment is good, but part of you is thinking, something's going to go wrong now. Sign number four, you stay busy to avoid feeling, to just avoid feeling silence. And silence makes emotion comes up, so you stay moving. Sign number five, you over-explain your boundaries. You feel guilty saying no. So you write a whole speech about your boundary. Sign number six, you don't celebrate progress. You survive one hard thing, then move to the next. No pause, no reflection, no gratitude. Sign number 7, you're always needed but rarely known. People know what you do, they don't know what you carry. See, if this is you, hear me, friend. You're not broken. Never. You're not broken. You're patterned. And patterns can be changed. The first step is awareness. You can't heal what you keep calling just how I am. No. Let's talk about Samuel. Samuel came into a new country and had to rebuild everything from the scratch. Career, confidence, community, language in some spaces, identity. He learned fast though. He learned how to adapt, how to read systems, how to work hard, how to handle pressure, how to stay humble and focused. Those were survival skills. He needed them at that time. And they helped him make it. They helped him move. But after many years, he realized he was still living like he was in his first year. His voice, he kept shrinking his voice. He kept underpricing his value. Kept working harder than necessary to prove he belonged. Kept avoiding visibility. A mentor asked him a question that changed him. Are you still surviving a season that already passed? That question exposed everything. Many of us do that. Many of us do that. We keep using old strategy in new seasons. Samuel didn't need to lose his work ethic. He needed to add self-respect. He needed to add language. He needed to add positioning. He needed to stop surviving invisibly and start building intentionally. He began to speak about his value clearly, document what he knew, build relationships strategically. Stop apologizing for his experience. He created systems instead of just effort. And you know what happened? The same survival skills that once looked like struggle started looking like leadership. Hear me, friends. Hear me tonight. What you learn in survival can become an advantage only if you stop hiding it and start structuring it to fit your new season. Let me give you a framework tonight. You know, I like giving frameworks. How do you turn survival skills into life skills? Number 1, identify the skill. Name what you built. Don't be vague. Was it emotional control? Was it problem solving? Was it grit? Was it reading and understanding people? Was it discipline or adaptability? Was it resilience? Identify the skill. Number 2, identify the fear under the skill. What was this skill protecting you from? When you were still in the survival mode, what was this skill protecting you from? For example, we talked about hyper independence. Hyper independence may be protecting you from disappointment because you don't want people to disappoint you. You do everything yourself. We talked about people pleasing. People pleasing may be protecting you from rejection because you want people to love you. You say yes to everyone. We talked about overworking. Overworking may be protecting you from feeling unworthy. Shutdown may be protecting you from vulnerability. This step, it matters because if you don't heal the fear, you keep misusing the gift. Step number 3, keep the strength. Heal the pattern. Don't throw away the useful part, my friends. Keep the discipline, keep the awareness, keep the responsibility, keep the empathy, keep the endurance, but remove the fear, remove the guilt, remove the self-abandonment, remove the silence, remove the overcompensation. Step number 4, build new behaviors for the new season. See, this is where life starts changing. If you used to be hyper independent, ask for help once in a week. If you used to be people pleasing, practice saying no at least one time. If you used to overwork yourself, schedule rest like a responsibility. Take time to say, I'm going to rest. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and go take a nap. I'll go rest. 1 hour for myself doing nothing. Schedule it. If you shut down, practice naming one feeling honestly. If you overthink, write the plan, then act on one step. Step number 5, repeat all these until peace becomes normal. That is the hardest part, my friends, because survival patterns feels familiar. Peace can feel strange at first, but don't quit because calm feels uncomfortable. Stay long enough to let your life catch up to your healing. I thought of a story of someone I wanted to add to this. Let's talk about Marcus. Marcus built his company through sheer survival strategy. He outworked everyone. He stayed up late. He solved every problem. He handled every crisis himself. He trusted nobody to do it right. And for a while, it all worked. It was all good. The business grew. Money improved. People respected his hustle. But privately, he was exhausted. He became short-tempered. He became disconnected from his family. He was unable to rest even on a good day. He had built a successful business, yes, but with survival patterns. And eventually, those patterns started hurting the very thing he built. He kept saying, no one do it like me. See, maybe he's correct, maybe it's true, but also it's a trap. Because what was once commitment had become control. What was once work ethic had become self-neglect. What was once responsibility had become fear. When he finally faced it, he didn't stop being a builder, he became a healthier builder. He started delegating work. He started training people. He started creating systems. He started setting boundaries. He started resting. He started being around mentally, not just physically. And his business didn't collapse. It got stronger. Why? Because he stopped building only from survival and started building from structure. Some of you need to hear that. The next level of your life will not be built by more panic. No, the next level of your life will not be built by more panic. It will be built by peace and systems. It will be built by peace and systems. See, I need to slow down here a little bit because this is the part many people don't hear enough. Some of you are excellent at creating stability for other people. You create safety for your kids. You create solutions at work. You create peace in your home. You create support for your friends. You create structure for your team. You help everybody breathe. You make sure everybody has eaten, have something to eat, but you rush your own meals. You check on everybody, but nobody knows how you're doing. You carry everybody's weight, but you call your own pain not a big deal. Friends, you deserve the life you keep creating for others. I need to say that again. I need to say that again. You deserve the peace you keep giving away. You deserve the care you keep pouring out. You deserve the patience you keep offering others. You deserve the grace you keep extending. You're not selfish for wanting rest. You're not selfish for wanting support, for wanting joy, for wanting healing, for wanting a softer life, for wanting deep connection. No, you're not selfish. You're not selfish for wanting a life that isn't always about managing the next emergency. And it's not a weakness, my friend. It's not a weakness. That is allness. Some of you survived so much that you forgot survival was supposed to lead you somewhere. It was supposed to lead you here to a life, to a real life, not just a functional life, not just a productive life, not just a responsible life, a real life. Friends, I want you to hear the invitation into this message. This is not a message about forgetting what you've been through. No. It's a message about refusing to stay there. You build survival skills, good and fine. Honor that. Now it's time to ask, what does life look like if I use this same strength in a healthier way? What does life look like if my awareness becomes wisdom instead of anxiety? What does life look like if my discipline becomes structure instead of burnout? If my empathy becomes, it includes boundaries. If my strength includes honesty. If my responsibility includes rest. If my leadership includes receiving help. That is the new season. It is not less strength. It is better use of strength. It is not less responsibility. It is healthier responsibility. It is not less care. It is deeper care, including for yourself. You're not betraying your survival by healing. No, you are honoring your survival because all that strength you build, it was never meant to end in exhaustion. It was meant to become alive. So let me leave you with this tonight. You're not weak because you're tired. You're not broken because you adapted. You're not failing because old patterns are showing up. You survived. And survival is not small. But don't stop there. You build survival skills. Now build a life with them. Build a life where peace is not suspicious. Rest is not guilt. Help is not weakness. Boundaries are not betrayal. Your voice is not dangerous. Your needs are not a problem. Build a life where your strength doesn't just carry others, it carries you too. Stop building every season from panic. Stop calling your patterns just who I am. Stop worshiping survival when life is available. Keep the strength, my friends. Heal the pattern. Use what you learned. Build what you deserve. If this message resonates with you, kindly do this. Share this live. Send it to someone who has been strong for too long and is quietly tired. Also, comment on this video. Comment on this live. Let's know what your thoughts are. a very big one for yourself. Practice one new life behavior this week. One. Not 10, not 20, not two. One. Because your next season will not be built by pressure alone. It will be built by healing, structure, and repeated choices. Thank you so much, friends, for being around. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening to us. Please let us know what you think. This is Matt Miller, signing out for the night. Peace.